I had just gotten home from my trip, a weekend away with my family that was supposed to be relaxing. My phone buzzed before I even had a chance to put my bag down. It was her. Lily, the love of my life. The girl I had spent 6 years with, the one I had planned to marry. Her voice was shaking, her words a blur of apologies and sobs. I could barely understand her at first, but then, like a knife to the gut, the words came through clearly. I kissed someone. My body went cold. I sank onto my bed, gripping my phone tighter. What? I was drunk. I wasn't thinking. I swear, it meant nothing. I don't even know why I did it. The moment I realized, I pulled away. I wanted to tell you the second you got back, I'm so sorry. I couldn't speak. My thoughts raced, my chest tightened. This was Lily, the girl who never looked at anyone else. The girl I had trusted with every piece of me. And now, in a matter of seconds, that trust had been shattered. The next day, we met at a quiet cafe. Lily's face was pale, her eyes swollen from crying. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. I wasn't ready for that. She told me everything. The night out with her coworkers, the drinking, the deep conversation with this guy. Chris, his name was. How he told her she was beautiful, how she kissed him. It was just a few seconds, she whispered. I don't even remember how it happened. It was like I wasn't even in control. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to make sense of it. But my mind kept replaying the scene in my head. Her lips on his. Did he kiss you back? I finally asked. She hesitated. Yes, but it wasn't. I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. I need time. She didn't stop me when I walked out. The following week was hell. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them together. I thought about the years we had spent together, the moments we had shared. The late-night talks, the way she looked at me when she laughed, the way we had dreamed of our future. I wanted to believe this was a mistake. A terrible, drunken mistake. But a small voice in my head kept whispering. If she could do it once, could she do it again? I met up with one of my closest friends, Ethan, to talk. She told you the truth, man, he said. That has to count for something. Or maybe she just felt guilty and knew she'd get caught, I muttered. Ethan shook his head. I get it, bro. I do. But people screw up. If this is the only time in 6 years she's ever done something like this, maybe it's worth thinking about. I wasn't sure. But I knew one thing. I needed to talk to her again. Lily showed up at my apartment that night. Her hands were shaking as she handed me a letter. I wrote this for you, she said. Please, just read it. I waited until she left before unfolding the paper. It was everything she had been trying to say. How much she loved me. How much she hated herself for hurting me. How she wished she could take it all back. She begged me not to throw away what we had. I met with her again, this time in our favorite park. I don't know if I can move past this, I admitted. She looked down. I understand. But I don't want to make a decision I'll regret. Her eyes met mine, filled with hope. Neither do I. We decided to take a break. Not a breakup, but space. Time to think. Time to heal. I focused on my final semester of college. She focused on herself. We talked sometimes. Slowly, the pain dulled. But the question still lingered. Could I ever trust her again? Months later, we met again. She had changed. She was stronger, more self-aware. I know I broke something between us, she said. And I know I can't fix it overnight. But I love you. And if you still love me, I want to try. I stared at her, my heart pounding. Was love enough? After weeks of soul-searching, I met her again. I'm willing to try, I said. But we need to rebuild this, slowly. Tears filled her eyes, but this time, they weren't from sadness. Rebuilding trust wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, moments of hesitation. But step by step, we found our way back to each other. Because sometimes, love isn't just about never making mistakes. It's about how you fight for it after you do.